They are the Pac-12 champs and a college football playoff participant. Talking Washington Huskies with Aaron Sieverkrop from UW Dog Pound, the SB Nation platform for Washington athletics. All right, Aaron, thanks for joining us. This is your first time, so we appreciate you jumping on board.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, and it must have been exciting watching the Huskies throughout the 2016 season pretty much annihilate everyone in the Pac-12 outside of USC. Wrapping up the Pac-12 championship with ease. And regardless of the outcome against Alabama, you have to be fairly impressed with, despite the mistake at the end of the first half that led to the pick six. Alabama continually getting field position inside the 50, that the Huskies really played a sound defensive game and kept it reasonable, 17-7 for most of the game until the late score kind of took it out of hand.
Yeah, the defense played amazing. Most people who followed the Huskies throughout the season knew that the defense was good. We didn't know how good, but they definitely exceeded expectations in that game. The offense wasn't able to muster much against Alabama like most teams were not able to, except for Clemson. But I was definitely impressed with the Husky D, and a lot of the D is returning for next year.
Yeah, and this run to the championship of the Pac-12 and to the college football playoff took a lot of people by surprise nationally, because Stanford and Oregon have owned that side of the division and really the entire Pac-12 since the championship game was formed. But for some of us, not so much, considering Jake Browning is a freshman playing so well the second half of the season, having the 1-2 threat at running back with Coleman and Gaskin, the speed at wide receiver, and then more so than anything, outside of the 4 out of 5, I believe, offensive linemen coming back from the 2015 team, is just that defense has been really good. And just because you didn't win a whole lot of games and lost 5 or 6 games the previous 2 seasons and got to minor bowls, it kind of masked that this was actually the best defense in the Pac-12 by far, and you were churning out NFL players. So not really a surprise. Everything just kind of came together at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Phil Steele's and prognosticators had UW as the surprise dark horse team, where 2017 would be the year that they would really arrive. They had a lot of talent coming back. They gelled really well. And no one really knew how John Ross would impact the offense. He was coming off an ACL injury. Didn't know if he was going to have his full speed back. Didn't know how many touchdowns he could catch. But that actually ended up being a lethal punch for the Husky offense, with John being able to go deep and catch so many touchdowns. I believe he had 17 touchdowns this year, or 18 touchdown catches.
So, Aaron, as we project to 2017, maybe your concerns, your thoughts, your hopes about what it looks like for next fall.
Well, I'm a diehard Husky, so I hope we win the national championship. But honestly, we're losing some key players. We have a great recruiting class coming in. We had a great recruiting class last year. Our staff is one of the best in the Pac-12, and they develop their players very well. I see our season ending up the same, maybe a little worse, just because some teams are getting better, USC, Oregon. But Washington's returning a lot of their starters on offense. We return everyone except for John Ross on defense. We lost some key contributors, but we have some talented players that are coming up that maybe we can talk about later. I see us winning the Pac-12 North again.